In Venezuela, officials of the Integral Defense Operational Zone continue to express their support for President Nicolás Maduro, reaffirming their commitment to defend national peace and sovereignty. Palestinian authorities announced that Israel has killed 70 children in the past 5 days after incessant attacks on the northern Gaza Strip. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the army announced that this weekend forces of the M23 rebels while recovering several key towns in the provinces of North and South Kivu. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. In Venezuela, officials of the Integral Defense Operational Zone continue to express their support to President Nicolás Maduro, reaffirming their commitment to defend national peace and sovereignty. From different regions of the country, the members of the Integral Defense Operational Zone firmly condemned the unilateral coercive measures imposed by the U.S. government against President Nicolás Maduro and other high officials of the country in an attempt to tarnish the inauguration of the Venezuelan president last January 10th. Likewise, the members of the Integral Defense Operational Zone ratified their support to the Bolivarian Revolution, to the democratic election of the Venezuelan people last July 28th, and to the struggle for the defense of peace of the nation.
We emphatically reject the decision of the imperial governments to impose coercive measures, wrongly called sanctions, on members of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces and the National Executive. They have the audacity to offer rewards for our Commander-in-Chief and elected constitutional president, our Minister of Popular Power for the Defense, our Minister of Interior Relations, Justice and Peace, to weaken our revolutionary, anti-imperialist, socialist ideals. But they will not succeed. The Bolivarian National Force, along with the Venezuelan people, is convinced that it is on the right side of history. We are committed to the Constitution of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Likewise, Army Commander General Johan Hernandez Lares denounced the plans of the Venezuelan far-right were to bend the country to foreign interests, in addition to ratifying the willingness of the army to obey the popular mandate of the July 28th that legitimized Nicolás Maduro as president of Venezuela.
This attack is part of the neo-fascist coup plans that the Venezuelan extreme right wing has been carrying out to alter the peace and stability of the country. They intend, through extortion and irrational sanctions, to subjugate us and bend us to foreign interests. In the face of them, our popular, anti-colonialist, anti-oligarchic, and anti-imperialist character leads us and in perfect popular military-judicial fusion. We ratify our determination to obey the popular mandate expressed last July 28, 2024. While reiterating our indescribable support to the Bolivarian Revolution.
In this regard, the Commander General of the Venezuelan Air Force, Lenin Lorenzo Ramirez Villasmil, expressed his rejection of the illegal sanctions imposed on public officials and members of the General Staff.
The integral aerospace power of the nation of the Bolivarian National Armed Force expresses its most energetic and categorical rejection of the new sanctions imposed by imperialism. Represented by the Office of Foreign Assets Control of the United States Treasury Department, together with the European Union and the United Kingdom, attacking on this occasion officials of the Venezuelan state, including our Commander-in-Chief, our Minister of People's Power for Defense, and our Strategic Operational Commander, members of the Superior General Staff.
On his part, the General Commander of the Bolivarian National Guard, Elio Ramon Estrada Paredes, assured that the Venezuelan people will be defended at all costs and will not fall into the violent acts generated by the far right.
Ratificamos el comunicado de nuestro ministro de la Defensa, Here, we ratify the communique issued by the Minister of Defense, General Vladimir Padrino Lopez. Stop underestimating our people. Stop deceiving our people. The Bolivarian National Armed Forces today, more than ever, united and strengthened, will guarantee peace and order, and will respect what our people decided on July 28, 2024. We are determined to lose our lives if necessary, defending our people, defending our commander-in-chief, defending our military leaders, defending our homeland. Do not continue seeking and making calls to generate violent acts, to generate terrorism, to spread fear on our people.
Finally, the Commander General of the Bolivarian Militia, Orlando Ramon Romero Bolivar, expressed his rejection of the illegal sanctions imposed by the United States against Venezuelan public officials.
La milicia bolivariana, quinto componente especial de
The Bolivarian Militia, the fifth special component of our glorious Bolivarian National Armed Force, raises its voice to address our brave people and repudiate the illegal, immoral, and unjustifiable sanctions imposed on our compatriots, citizens, public officials, and brothers in arms. These sanctions are aimed at reducing morale and attacking the spirit of our homeland, the spirit of our country. Countries allied to the United States, Canada, and the European Union have imposed sanctions on public officials, fellow soldiers, and our Commander-in-Chief, the constitutional President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moros.
And in Venezuela, former Vice President and promoter of the country's revolutionary process, Isaías Rodriguez, died on January 12 in the city of Caracas at the age of 82. The death of Isaías Rodriguez was announced in the last hours. He was former Attorney General of Venezuela, Vice President in the government of Commander Hugo Chavez, and President Nicolás Maduro's ambassador to Italy. Rodriguez was the country's first executive vice president after the approval of the new constitution in 1999, and a member of the 1999 and 2017 Constituent Assemblies. He played a fundamental role during the coup d'etat of April 11, 2002 against Commander Hugo Chavez, when, as Attorney General, he denounced the situation in the country. After the physical departure of the Venezuelan politician Isaías Rodriguez, the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, said, "We have lost a great man, lawyer, poet, defender of the workers, impeccable, loyal, and consistent with the just causes of the Venezuelan people. Isaías Rodriguez was a courageous revolutionary, important constituent of the years 1999 and 2017, author of the fundamental articles and chapters of our Constitution, and who accompanied us in the founding of the Fifth Republic, an icon of the heroic Venezuelan history. I remember him in those days of April 2002, when he firmly denounced the coup against Commander Hugo Chavez, which was decisive to fuel the revolutionary rebellion that would save the institutions and democracy. Today, January 12th, I write these lines in the context of this irreplaceable physical departure, which fills us with deep sorrow. Condolences go to his family and friends, glory and eternal honor to Isaías Rodriguez." And the Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro held a meeting with the son of former Brazilian President João Goulart, during which they reaffirmed the bonds of friendship and cooperation for this new period of Venezuelan government. Through his social medias, the head of state expressed, "I met with João Vicente Goulart, from whom I received this moving letter, which highlights the brotherhood, solidarity, and words of support of the Goulart family. I'm very grateful for your good wishes in this new mandate for our homeland, where we will continue to work and consolidate our bonds of cooperation and peace, diplomacy, and union." We now have a short break coming up, but first remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Palestinian authorities denounced that Israel has killed 70 children in the past 5 days after incessant attacks on the northern Gaza Strip. According to the Gaza media office, Israeli offensive have brought about nearly 5,000 Palestinian deaths or missing in northern Gaza over the past 100 days. In addition, a medical source told Al Jazeera that 9,500 others were injured in a military raid against northern Strip since early October. During that period, Israeli forces shut down the 3 main hospitals in northern Gaza while preventing the entry of food and humanitarian aid. The Zionist regime of Israel carried out new airstrikes on Lebanese territory, violating the ceasefire agreement reached between Tel Aviv and Hezbollah last month. According to the Lebanese authorities, Israeli military aircraft carried out 4 bombings on Monday between the suburbs of Al-Fuqa and Deir al-Zahrani in southern Lebanon. Israel continued systematic operations attacking also the villages bordering the occupied Palestinian territories where no injuries or deaths have been reported yet. In addition, Zionist soldiers on the ground fired tear gas grenades at a number of Lebanese citizens in Aitarun. The Iranian army announced Monday to include 1,000 strategic drones to its military fleet amid tensions between the United States and Israel. The information was ordered by the counter-admiral and deputy chief of the Iranian army, Habibullah Sayari, who affirmed that drones will be added to the drone unit in the coming days. Moreover, the commander of the Ground Force Army and Brigadier General Q. Omar Haydari explained that the new military equipment has capabilities such as maneuverability, accuracy, and intelligence, which will be used to counter any kind of threat. And on Sunday, thousands of people protested in Australia and Pakistan to demand a ceasefire in Gaza and boycott the Tel Aviv regime for its crimes. Tens of thousands of people, including women and children, rallied in the Pakistani city of Karachi to express their solidarity with the defenseless Palestinian people. The march, organized by the political religious party Jamaat Islam, was attended by members of civil society and a large number of families. Meanwhile, in Sydney, Australia, thousands rallied chanting for a ceasefire in Gaza and justice for the Palestinians. They stressed the need to stop the violence and make possible the delivery of humanitarian aid to the devastated population of the enclave. All agreed that everything possible must be done to stop the Zionists and try the Israeli regime officials for their crime. And U.S. President Joe Biden spoke Sunday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about ongoing negotiations in Doha, Qatar, for a Gaza ceasefire agreement. The talks also focused on last year's May 27th agreement, unanimously approved at the UN Security Council for the release of those held by Hamas since October 7, 2023. Likewise, Biden spoke about the regional circumstances that fundamentally changed after the ceasefire agreement in Lebanon, the fall of Bashar al-Assad's government in Syria, and Iran's power in the region. For his part, Netanyahu thanked Biden for his lifelong support for Israel. And current Croatian head of state Zoran Milanovic celebrated his victory in the presidential elections in which he was re-elected to lead the country for the next 5 years. The current president and leader of Croatian Social Democratic Party, Zoran Milanovic, announced his victory in the second round of the presidential elections on Sunday. The candidate supported by the Social Democratic Party, Milanovic, won more than 74% of the votes in the second round of the elections compared to almost 26% for his opponent, the candidate of the ruling Conservative Party, Dragan Primorac.
Sharing is a skill and a virtue. To the one who wants to seize all for himself, people usually send a message, like the one they sent today. Not to me, to the ruling Conservative Party.
And Iraq received the pro-tempore mandate of the G77 plus China for 2025 from Uganda, following its election at a meeting of the Asia-Pacific Group held last year. Iraq's representative at the United Nations headquarters in New York, Abbas Kadub Ubaid, underscored his country's commitment to the fundamental principles of the group, particularly with regard to supporting the goals and aspirations of developing countries. Ubaid also stressed that Iraq will work to ensure that all elements are in place for the success of this chairmanship, which is the first in the creation of the group, of which it was one of the founding countries 60 years ago. We have a second short break coming up, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English. There you'll be able to rewatch our interviews, top stories, special broadcastings, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Fun short break, go away. Welcome back. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the army announced that this weekend forced back the M23 rebels while recovering several key towns in the provinces of North and South Kivu. A Congolese army spokesman reported that as one of the major achievements, the strategic city of Ngungu in the territory of Masisi in North Kivu had been recovered. The authorities claim that the M23 rebels are supported by Rwanda, a claim that is also supported by the UN, the United States, and the European Union, while the Rwandan President Paul Kagame denies them all. Since March 2022, and after constant human rights violations, 3.3 million people have been displaced in the provinces of Ituri, North and South Kivu alone. An avalanche hit a group of 5 skiers in the Piedmont region of northern Italy on Sunday, killing 3 of them. 2 of the skiers survived and were airlifted to hospitals. The avalanche occurred around noon on the east face of Punta Valgrande, a peak on the border between Italy and Switzerland. The skiers who died were dragged down several hundred meters and suffered fatal injuries. An alert had been issued in the area above 6,900 feet, warning of considerable avalanche danger. In related news, Brazil reported 9 deaths and nearly 3 people missing due to torrential rains and landslides that occurred early Sunday morning in the municipality of Ipatinga in the state of Minas Gerais. Brazilian authorities reported that the municipality received 80 millimeters of rain in a few hours, causing flooding, river overflows, and landslides. Most of the victims died after being buried under the ground due to the collapse of houses. Civil defense teams reported that the victims were pulled out by members of the state military fire brigade. The National Meteorological Institute estimated that moderate to heavy rains could continue until next Monday. And in Ecuador, a large part of the country felt an earthquake of 5.8 magnitude on Sunday night. The epicenter of the tremor was in the city of Guayaquil, coastal province of Guayas, where the debate of the vice presidential candidates is taking place. In social media, users from different areas of both the coast and the Ecuadorian highlands, including the city of Quito, expressed their concern. So far, there are no reports of human or material damage. Ecuador is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire and are prone to this type of phenomena due to the collision of plates that make up the Earth's crust. Cuba is preparing the 6th Latin American Monologue Festival, which will take place in Cienfuegos from February 27th to March 2nd. The event will be attended by personalities of the performing arts from all over the country, as well as theater groups from 5 other nations: Mexico, Argentina, Uruguay, Costa Rica, and Colombia. Among the scheduled activities, there will be conferences, workshops on the construction and neuroemotional skills, and neuroreactions for actors. And the Beijing Book Fair 2025 was inaugurated at the International Exhibition Center of China. The event, organized by the China Publishers Association and China Books and Periodicals Distribution Association, features an exhibition of more than 400,000 titles in a 50,000 square meter hall. For the first time, an area for cultural and creative products will be included. During the fair, more than 400 thematic activities will take place, as well as the presentation of reports on the publishing industry. This year's edition will feature publications on new energy vehicles and technological topics, reflecting the population's growing interest in innovation. Like this, we have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. Join us on social media, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For Telesur English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.